I thought of Dallas in 1963 and the atmosphere there. I thought of General Walker flying the flag upside down.
Called my wife to tell her, and she was very, very disappointed. We both feel like it was, our own station, that they were blowing up our own radio station.
Well, when I first heard that Pacifica had been bombed off the air, it was like shock. I couldn't imagine that anybody would want to really, do something like that.
And to grow out of the general climate in this community of condoning violence against unpopular causes.
And, well, when I first heard about it, I was kind of scared because, well, I want to hear this kind of programming, and I hear a lot of things I never hear otherwise.
There are a lot of people who want to be heard, and they can't be heard. All they have to do is let Pacifica know about it, and they will be heard.
Something from the Big Sur, some real issues being discussed. They provoke responses in this housewives that's so isolated, and it's very refreshing and very helpful and very stimulating, very necessary.
Well, I miss it quite a bit because it has become part of my daily routine of life.
This lunatic fringe can only be defeated not by using violence, but by showing them that we're determined to have the voice of reason on the air again.
There are people who are trying to keep us from talking, just makes you want to shout all the more.
I want it back on the air because I want to hear what it says, and I want to agree with it or disagree with it, and form my own opinion.
We rented a very tiny office. The landlord said, "How long will you be here?" And we said, "We'll be here until we raise the money and get a construction permit from the FCC and build our radio station, a listener-sponsored radio station." And he said, "What is this listener-sponsored radio?" And we said, "Well, ordinarily,
On a collect telegram from the Federal Communications Commission in Washington, D.C. The telegram reads as follows. Subject to the provisions of the Communications Act of 1934, subsequent acts and treaties and commission rules made thereunder, authority is hereby granted to Pacifica Foundation to construct an FM broadcast station.
This is KPFT in Houston, Texas. KPFT operates at 90.1 FM with an effective radiated power of 47,000.
From the Astrodome to the main spacecraft center and all along the Gulf Freeway, it's the sounds of modern American music on Grooving from Sunrise. I'm Dorothy Shelley, and I'll be here until 9 a.m. So stay with me if you can, love. I'm gonna do my thing.
I'm Marco Monica, and the kids call this stuff music, and here's The Boxer by Simon and Garfunkel.
I am just a poor boy, though my story is seldom told. I have squandered my resistance for a pocket full of mumbles, such are promises. All lies and jest, still a man.
It's 12:30 and time for the garage sale. This is Louisa Shaw. We're going to listen to, for the first time, 45 minutes for speaker, John Cage, delivering a lecture at UCLA. See if it's any good.
These piano parts shared the same numerical rhythmic structure, but were not fixed together by means of a score.
I'm Juliet again with Just Plain Folk, and I want to start this segment with Sweet Baby James Taylor. As soon as Melvin turns the right knob.
There is a young cowboy, he lives on the range. His horse and his cattle are his only companions. He works in the saddle and he sleeps in the canyon, waiting for summer.
Good evening. This is Life on Earth, KPFT's 90-minute news show. I'm Don Gardner. Larry Lee and Roger Walters are with me this evening.
Spokesman for United refused to disclose the names of those aboard. As one of them put it, this is not a plane load of congressmen, but we're not hiding them either.
And public activities supporting or protesting the war. It is presented so that Pacifica listeners may have a place they can turn to at a regular time each night to hear war developments reported in full.
It's 10:46 in Houston. This is the Aftermath show on listener-sponsored Pacifica Radio, KPFT, in Houston. My name is Bill Miller, and this is Arlo Guthrie.
They got a building down in New York City called Whitehall Street, where you walk in, you get injected, inspected, detected, infected, neglected, and selected. I went in there one morning to have my physical examination. I got good and drunk the night before. I wanted to be the all-American. I wanted to feel like the all-American kid. I walked in, I was hung down, brung down, swung down, hung up. I walked in and sat down and gave me a piece of paper, said, "Kid, see the psychiatrist, room 604. I walked up there, I said, "Shrink, I want to kill. I want to."
It was a very professional job. They knew what to do, they knew where to find you, and they did it.